So, this week-ish, I wanted to get the game to a playable state, get a sort of demo finished. The first thing I needed was for the enemies to actually show up. At the moment, Bert was just hanging out until I manually spawned in some enemies. I created a single script called Wave Manager, which would boss around several other scripts. Each of these scripts had a pool of enemies to choose from and how many of each enemy to spawn. From that pool, it would pick a random enemy and spawn it. When it was done spawning enemies and there were no more enemies left in existence, it would tell the manager that it had finished, and the manager would tell the next one to start. It worked pretty flawlessly. I threw together 10 waves and created a wave counter at the bottom. If you survived a pitiful amount of waves like 1 or 0, it gives you a good pat on the back for sucking. Lets you know that you could use a little more practice. Next on my non-existent list was a main menu, HP bar, and health pickup. For the main menu, I reused the ground and light objects, then turned the strength of the light down and animating a flickering effect. Slapped some random objects in there like the ghost, bottle, and minotaur, and here we go, this is the menu. For the HP bar, I stole the frame I used in a previous project of mine, reminded myself of how to do it with a Brachy's tutorial, and threw this together. On to the health pickup. I used the crab's bottle, put red rectangles behind it, gave it a light and particle. Voila! There it is. Following this, I built it, had an issue with the edges when you full screen it, fixed that, and uploaded it to itch. Link in the description. But don't go just yet. Remember all of those things I did in the first 2 minutes of this video? I threw it all out the window. Au revoir. I wanted the wave system to randomly generate the waves as the game went on, so the player could go theoretically forever unless they died. To do this, I rewrote the Wave Manager script to have a variable such as enemy difficulty and enemy's amount. I gave each enemy a difficulty value, the script randomly picked an enemy, checked if it fit the difficulty for that wave, then spawns the enemy at a random location. Once it has spawned the max amount of enemies for that wave, it waits until all enemies are dead, then increases the difficulty and enemy amount and resets, starting the next wave. In the last video I mentioned my idea to make Bert a wizard and give him multiple spells. What I didn't mention though was that Bert would have a shield that would protect him from hits, using some of his mana to do so. If Bert was hit and didn't have enough mana to block the damage, he would die. The trick is, Bert's spells would also use mana, forcing the player to be conservative about their spell usage. I animated the shield and got the mana worked into the spells. I actually think this was much more fun to play, and as far as I know, it's pretty unique, so it was definitely the right move. Next, I created a mana potion and implemented it. Bert's mana regenerates, and mana is used to shoot, so they wouldn't be too useful if they just showed up at random. Because of this, Bert can carry 5 of them, use them when he needs them, and they'll replenish 75% of his total mana pool. And so Bert can acquire these things, there's a chance that one will randomly appear at each wave transition. I got a little bored, so I added a skip wave button. It skips 5 waves each time you press it, so you can easily get into really high numbers before quickly dying. I'm not sure surviving past wave 20 is possible. That's right, I'm challenging you to get past wave 20. I did leave that in, by the way. Finally, I updated the controls menu, built it, fixed some bugs, and uploaded it to itch. Link in the description. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Later, nerds.